Hey, I'm Lindsay Smith, the founder of Tact. And at SocialWest 2026, I sat down with Azrah Manji-Savin. She's an entrepreneur, speaker, and co-founder of Syzl, a platform helping food entrepreneurs access commercial kitchen spaces, as well as providing critical resources to helping food entrepreneurs grow their business. Beyond building a successful marketplace, Azra is passionate about personal branding, networking, and helping people build meaningful professional relationships in an increasingly digital world. In this conversation, we discuss the growing importance of personal brand, how to network authentically, and what entrepreneurs can do to stand out while staying true to themselves. Well, we're here at SocialWest in Calgary. This is your first time in Calgary, or are you from here?
I'm from here.
You know what? As soon as those words came out of my mouth, I was like, I think you're actually from here.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Calgary.
Okay.
I've lived all over. I'm currently based in Toronto, but no, Calgary is home.
Okay, I love it. Well, Azra, thank you for being here on the podcast today for Marketing News Canada. And you're speaking at this event, or have you done it yet?
Yes, I did it this morning.
Yeah, and how did it go?
You know what? I think it went well. Yeah. And I say that because there was a lot of people afterwards that came up to me and said, you know what? I'm really scared of networking. It makes me so uncomfortable. Thank you for the tips.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? That's how I think it went well.
That's always good. That's always good. So you're an entrepreneur in your own right. You started a business 4 years ago called Syzl.
Yes.
And it's an online marketplace for kitchen sharing. Do explain for anyone who hasn't heard of it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So how I like to say is that Syzl, we started out trying to figure out, okay, every side hustle, like maybe 1 in 4, it's a food business. You know someone, I know you do, that has a great hot sauce or wants to do maybe catering or has a great cupcake recipe, but where do they make it?
Right.
You can't do it from home. Yeah. And so now what? You're stuck. You can't grow. You can't figure it out. No event will have you. And so we decided to take on that entire industry by saying there are so many restaurants that are struggling right now. They're not open every single day. So what if they found an alternative revenue source? What if they were able to go and say, you know what? Airbnb is a great place to rent out that spare room, or at least it used to be. It's not anymore.
I think it's still good.
So.
I think there's still a lot of positive stuff. I think that's just the negative ones surface more.
So that's what it used to be. So we're saying, you know what, let's do that. And as we grew, we learned that there are so many opportunities for food businesses and small business in general. And a lot of them really do struggle with, how do I grow? How do I scale? I need a business plan. Math is hard.
Right.
And so that's how we grew into now doing almost like business operations.
So how many matches do you make? Like, is this the size and scale of, are you hoping to be like the next Airbnb, but of kitchen
That's
sharing?
Exactly it.
Okay.
That's the plan. And be able to support food entrepreneurs every step of the way. Operations, figuring out their finances and financial analysis. That's the big problem that we're solving right now. And you know what? All that means is that there's more economic value, especially for people getting out of college, lots of parents, lots of newcomers. These are the people that need it most.
Yeah. That's incredible. So you spoke today on the topic of personal branding and the importance of networking in an online era. I'm paraphrasing, but that was generally the topic. Tell me a little bit about that, because you were really passionate about the concept of personal branding.
That's right. Personal brand as a search term skyrocketed in the last year.
Interesting.
This was not something that was talked about a lot, but with AI, with automation, the playing field is really leveled out. If you're trying to be on LinkedIn, be on Instagram, be an influencer, do something in the online space. So people are trying to figure out, okay,
but who am I?
Content kind of sounds like everyone else's now. Yeah. What makes me different? What makes me unique? How do I bring that out? How do I start to stand out more and more? And that's the idea of personal branding. And then I take that to the next level by saying, we got to be consistent in who we are online and in person. And we forget that in person is so vital to building relationships, so vital to building customer trust. And for a lot of people, it's an afterthought when they're thinking about their digital presence.
Yeah.
So
So you're saying it's like a combination of both of those that need to happen at the same time.
That's exactly it.
And I mean, coming out of, it's, I guess, 6.5 years post-COVID, it's been interesting to see how long it's taken people to get back into the personal branding and networking game. Have you seen or have any examples of people that you've seen or ways yourself that you've seen yourself grow through being able to have access to more networking opportunities?
Absolutely. I think, and I said this in my chat as well, is most opportunities that I've received, whether it's been employment, whether it's been clients, hiring people, has all come from in-person opportunities. It's the people you talk to in that coffee line. It's who do you meet when you're waiting for that shuttle at the hotel pickup. It's just waiting around at conferences. Those are the golden moments for you to strike up a conversation. You never know who you might be talking to, how you can provide value to them and them to you.
Those are wise words, wise words. What advice would you give introverts who the idea of, striking up a conversation with a random stranger just seems terrifying to them?
Absolutely. So the biggest thing is remembering that networking isn't a performance. We think, because we go into networking saying, I need my elevator pitch. I need everything to be perfect.
You do. I mean, coming from the tech industry, that is exactly how it's done. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is so terrifying.
Yeah.
And so what do? We avoid it altogether.
Yeah.
We stand in the corner, we go on our phones, we look busy.
Right.
And instead, what I especially tell introverts is approach everyone just in a conversation. This is a human on the other end. Chances are they're just as nervous as you are, which is a weird mental switch. And just say, hi, hey, what brings you here?
Just be curious.
Exactly.
Be curious, yeah.
You don't need to talk about your company. You don't need to talk about, it'll come naturally.
Yeah. I do often enjoy meeting, and I would actually consider myself an introvert a little bit, believe it or not. But I love that interaction when you do connect with people and you just learn about them. Like you just ask them questions, and then often you find that before you know it, you have more in common than what you actually realize.
That's it.
So I'm curious about your personal journey towards Syzl. You started it 4 years ago. You had a whole career track before that.
Yeah.
Was it an aha moment at a certain point where you're like, I'm going to start this business? Was it a series of trends that you saw that kind of made you go, I'm thinking about this, and then it was just reinforcement after reinforcement after reinforcement? Like, what was your personal journey towards it?
I never thought I was going to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I really didn't. I fell in love with the problem.
Okay.
So
I love that wording. Yeah.
Both myself and my co-founder, we both have personal ties, so through our families, to the food industry, right? It is one of the largest businesses that is run by immigrants and immigrant families. Our restaurants, our food halls, our catering companies. And so we had both seen just in our own lives how challenging that can be, how there's a 1 in 3 failure rate in the first year. So it's often higher now, 1 in 2.
Okay.
And that hit us home. And honestly, I didn't know if that was something I could ever solve. And I was in corporate. I was doing a lot of corporate work. And it just so happened that I worked in shared real estate. It was something that was really exciting and interesting to me. And the idea for Syzl came up just through a freelance that we did for somebody who said, hey, I have a restaurant that's not doing too well. Any ideas what I can do? I'm like, this is really interesting. Let's dig deep. Let's ask the questions. Oh, okay, this is the restaurant owner's perspective. What about all of the people that could be using the space? Went out, talked to 100 people, did that work, and we said, this is a problem that should have been solved 10 years ago. And no one solved it. I guess we're the ones that are going to go and do it, and here we are, honestly.
That's great. I have a marketing nerdy question for you.
Sure.
So you've got a pretty short domain name, right? It's which is really hard to find. I know we got ours too, and it was 4 letters of .com, and I was so excited.
Yeah, primo.
Okay, so it's SIZL.
SYZL.
Okay. Now, did you pay big bucks for it? Or were you able to find it because of the way you've spelt it?
Because of the way we spelt it.
Interesting.
We were thinking of the right words. I can take no credit. My co-founder was the one that came up with the name.
Yeah.
We wanted
It's a great
something
name.
that was memorable.
It's a great name.
Thank you. And, evokes the industry in some way. So like Syzl, like the sound is what we say.
Oh yeah. It's visceral, but in a good way.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
And it was easy to spell. We're like, okay, fun.
Yeah.
And we saw it and we went onto the domain and we're like, oh my God. And we bought
It's
it
available.
right away.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were going to say, it cost us about $30,000 because that's what they can go for these days.
Oh, it's crazy.
Or
it's crazy.
more.
Hey, there's a reason I don't have the .com right now.
Yeah.
But
now this is a marketing podcast.
Yes.
So what advice would you give entrepreneurs that are starting off in terms of marketing, in addition to the personal branding, marketing their businesses when budgets are tight? Like, and maybe it could be an experience that you've had in marketing Syzl. But what's worked for you, and what have you seen work for other entrepreneurial friends and acquaintances?
Budget is tight is probably the words I live by every single day, even now.
Yeah.
And so some of the biggest things was, what can I do essentially that doesn't cost me any additional money? And for us, that was thought leadership.
Right.
Right? We love the industry. We noticed that there weren't a lot of people talking specifically about what it's like to be a side hustler or a startup in this industry. There's a lot of stuff for restaurants, but what about this other huge world? Okay, what if I just start posting about that and talking about that? And that led to a newsletter. We're now one of the largest newsletters for food and beverage in Canada.
Wow. I did not know that. That is exciting. Congratulations.
Right? We did that. We built our online presence. I do a bunch of stuff with LinkedIn. It was because we wanted to see where are our customers needing additional information. Where's their gap? Can I do it? And can I do it with just me? And so finding that sweet spot, and it usually is within thought leadership, whether that's you, if you're the owner, operator, or the founder, whether that's the founder that you work for, those are the places that can really shine, because people, they buy from people, not brands.
Yeah, they do.
That's changed so much in the last 5-6 years, where the brand really doesn't mean as much as it used to.
Are you... I'm curious to hear how your plans to scale. What does that look like? If you were to fast forward, shoot into the future, 5-10 years from now, what does Syzl look like?
We're the go-to. That's what it looks like, is that if you are a small business or you have an idea for what you want to do, again, we've done surveys. 1 in 10 Canadians have thought about, to a point where they started researching, a small food business. I want to open a bar with friends. Oh my God, my mom makes the best apple pie. She should sell it on the side. Syzl it. Right?
Yeah.
We are the way that you can figure out if this is sustainable without spending a lot of money, without going into debt, without making those really big mistakes that lead to those restaurant shutdowns that you see, that lead to big brands that you love all of a sudden disappearing.
You know, there's a beautiful, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this restaurant. So I'm from Vancouver, and we have this amazing restaurant on Main Street called Azrah.
Okay.
And it was, a gentleman started it based on his mother's Afghanistan recipes.
Wow.
And she was the very first chef in the kitchen. So as I heard your story, I thought of them. And he's actually built it into, I don't think they've won a Michelin star yet, but their restaurant is packed out. It's high-end dining. They opened the place next to them.
Wow.
So I can see people like that, though, being able to both share by giving their space, like you said, on days when they're closed and things like that. Mentoring. I wonder, is mentorship part of your platform?
It is informally. We have so many, we call them hosts, people who have the kitchen spaces that want to be able to give their time to the next generation of entrepreneurs. There's ones that I know specifically that are like, hey, like send the newbies to me. Right. If there's something that comes in inbound and they don't know where to go, send them to me. I'll help. I want to teach. Because they do it because they love food. They love hospitality. Yeah. This is still a person-to-person industry at the end of the day.
Say someone works for a larger company and they want to build their personal brand, but that might seem a bit intimidating, or they don't want to break the company's rules. What advice would you give to them if they, again, work for a larger company but want to build like a personal brand?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best way for that, honestly, I'd say is start online and use LinkedIn for it. There are lots of companies that encourage you to have a point of view on your industry, as long as it doesn't clash with the official brand guidelines. So let's say you work for an airline, don't go and do teardowns of all the airlines in the industry. That may not sit very well with your employer, but instead focus on the things that you do really well. As if you're the social media coordinator there, talk about social media as a whole. Look at places that align well with the brand that you happen to work for. Look at what maybe your peers are doing within other companies or within the agency or company that you work for itself. It's a good starting point that allows your company to then see you as a value asset as somebody in person.
Yeah. I was going to say, I always get excited when my team members come out and then they have an idea, even to write on the company blog or their own. I've seen that too, where they're like, is it okay if I take this experience that I have and put it on my own personal blog? And they come and they get it vetted first, which is kind of nice, because then we can definitely give them some tips. And there's been some times where I'm like, oh, would you mind taking that piece out? Or, hey, this was really great. Why don't you add this? And then might even be better for you. So I think that's really wise advice.
Yeah, you can be the user-generated content for your own company. Right? Yeah. All it is asking and sharing. And if they say no, that's okay. You can post about your own opinions.
Yeah. I heard user employee content.
Yes.
UEC?
UEC.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. And it's huge. It's taking off a lot. There's a great company, Canadian company, that they require actually all of their employees to post twice a month. Doesn't matter if you're an engineer.
On their personal accounts?
On their personal accounts.
Interesting. And so you have to sign up for that in your contract, in your employee contract.
In your employee contract.
Fascinating.
It doesn't have to be about the company, but they said, we want to get you into the practice of feeling comfortable and confident, because we do so many events. We do so many online and in-person activations. You need to feel like you have a voice, and this is a great way to practice.
I like that. It could be seen as a little bit pushy or overstepping boundaries, but I really think it's neat that they've aligned themselves with the philosophy of helping people find a voice in a world where you can kind of get lost in everything online if you just consume and don't have a position or thought or take on what's happening out there.
There's a great mantra, so to speak, within a lot of content generation, which is create before consuming, right? Make sure you get your post out there. Make sure you do your networking outreach, whatever it is, before you start consuming content.
Oh gosh, I would totally lose that game.
It's definitely harder than it sounds.
And if you were to leave listeners today with one or two top tips in marketing, what would they be?
It sounds cliched, but yes, invest time into your personal brand and treat it like you would the brand guide for your client. That kind of consistency, that layout, we all know, we're marketers, right? Brand guide is incredibly important. You would never put out an ad without consulting it first. Think about when you're putting out a LinkedIn post or an Instagram on your own pages, consult your personal brand guide. What does that look like? How do you want people to come across it? And that's something that I think more people need to be doing, because it makes the world of a difference.
Actually, I have one more question for you.
Let's do it.
And that is, because as you were saying that, I was like, what advice would you give people for creating their own personal brand guide? Like, how do they get to that place where, like, this is who I am, this is what I want to stand for?
Yeah, it takes so much self-reflection. And so what I say is, go online and find people that resonate with you. Who are the people that you're like, they sound really cool, they're really interesting, this is somebody that I admire, I respect, and start to listen to what either sits or, more importantly, doesn't sit well with you. That's really a good start. A lot of people are scared to put down on paper the things they stand for. It's a lot easier to put down the things that you don't stand for.
That's true.
Start there. Start with who you don't want to be, what you don't want to do. And then it allows you to do that reflectiveness of, these are the people that I admire, this is what I like about them, this is what I want to see, this is what I want to be. And be confident to experiment and innovate. The only thing is just be consistent. Don't be one person online and a different person live, right? Because that's what...
You lose your authenticity in that.
Exactly. It breeds distrust, just like if an ad or an in-person experience for your customers, right? It's the same way.
Well, thank you, Azra. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today.
Amazing. Thanks for having me.